REZOcast.
You're in timeout. I need some more wine.
Hey everyone, and welcome to REZOcast episode 63. This is Lego, and I've got with me Ho, Mana, Triton, and this week our special guest, returning Resolute member, Tinkkz. Welcome to the show. How you doing? How's your week?
It's me. Stop it. It's good. I like week. I like week. It was good.
I like week.
Week was good.
Well, Ho, how's your week been since Tinkkz is just
his week was good too. His week was good too.
Okay, Tinkkz actually, y'all. Okay, hold on. Tinkkz is gonna predict how the rest of our weeks was because she's Resolute's mom. She pretty much knows how. All
my lunch sucked today. All right.
I was just gonna say that.
Got made me a shitty lunch.
Me off.
I was just gonna say that he had a crappy lunch. Okay, so who does the editing for this?
I mean, I'm not gonna cut any of this out if that's what you're wondering.
No, but I'm just wondering who I need to apologize for the F words.
That's
in the future.
me.
Okay,
that's
all right, cool. So we'll talk later. Sorry, already derailing.
A lot of beeps. Just get that one sound effect.
No, this is Resolute. Claw wouldn't let me beep out anything. You know that.
Mana had a bad week because it was he keeps trying to get that thing off of his chin and his upper lip there, so his wasn't too good. And Triton, he's just so cute. He's so cute. Look at him.
No, he's not. Don't lie to the poor guy.
Yeah, he is.
What y'all
don't know? He looked at me and he was waiting for me, and I had something mean to say, and then he just looked at me, and I was like, no, I can't.
Well, what you don't know, listening, is that right when she joined the podcast, she thought that Mana was Triton, and so she's all mixed up right now.
I mean, I just said, what the fuck did you do to your hair, Mana? I don't feel like it was an insult, but...
I think that's an insult, I would say.
Pretty much how it went, yeah.
Mana, your haircut's terrible. Oh,
not
right,
only does
that's your
she
normal
think we
haircut,
look alike just because we're Asian. She also insulted
I have really good news, though, Lego, for the rest of this episode of the podcast.
Okay, what's the good news?
I can guarantee you that for the rest of the episode, it will not go off the rails.
Yeah.
Because we're never getting on the fucking rails.
Yeah, that's fair.
I agree.
We misplaced the rails.
The rails are gone.
So, like, how was your week?
I have bad news.
You're out of wine already?
I was just about to say that.
I'm just kidding.
What is that contraption you're drinking out of?
That's amazing. Oh my gosh! For those listening and not watching, it looked like she had an empty wine glass, but the wine glass was attached to the bottle of wine somehow. So, yeah, it's not running out anytime soon.
This was a gift from Resolute member Kales for Christmas last year.
I
got a bottle wine glass. So this is my first time using it in a year because he gave it to me last Christmas, and I figured, why not REZOcast, right?
Yes, and Tinkkz, even if Tinkk's week has just been good, her night's gonna be great. We can tell already. Yes.
We should one time we should pretend this is like college, and we tape bottles 40s to our hand, and we can't finish the podcast till we finish drinking the 40s.
Yeah.
All I got are 2 bottles of rum. I'd be wasted.
I think 2 bottles of rum. It wouldn't be good for anybody.
We wouldn't have a functioning podcast. No, it would not go
or at least
well.
And what do you call this? What do you call this, though?
this is like barely
This is a professional top-tier podcast.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Well, my week has been great because Curse of Osiris just dropped, and it's been awesome to just play Destiny again, like in the way that I used to. Basically, I'm just like devouring PvE content right now, just enjoying so much that I'll get into later. I'm not going to talk about it all now, but mainly just the art of the entire thing just looks amazing, and I'm really enjoying that. Hove, what about you? How's your week been?
I have to actually answer this.
Yes, absolutely.
My week's been pretty good. I have really actually enjoyed Curse of Osiris. I know there isn't, quote unquote much to it and everything, but it's on par or bigger than the other $20 expansions we've had, and I've really enjoyed it. Like you said, it looks great, it sounds great. It's a lot of fun. This has nothing to do with Curse of Osiris specifically, but I've been running my Warlock, and for what are those gauntlets called? Where when you punch something, your like melee damage goes up and it stacks 5 times.
The pretty ones.
Yeah,
those are so nice.
Is that like
That's a thing.
Is that the Winter's Guile one?
Yes, Winter's Guile.
Winter's
Yeah,
Guile.
man, they're
Is that new?
no.
No, they're from the original.
When you
I
when
never
you
got that.
when you get a melee kill, your melee damage goes up, and it's you have a little buff ×1, and it'll go up to ×5.
What?
And if you get it up to ×5, you can one-hit melee like shielded majors.
Oh my
And-
gosh.
So you
And
just
you
you just run into a mob, melee the 5 little guys first, and walk up and slap the big dude in the face, and he just dies, and it's great. It's so much fun. I don't use guns anymore. Who needs gun?
Yeah, you pair it with some mods that
Wait.
like complement each other, and it's just super.
You need a
overpowered.
gun, and that thing is called
No.
Prometheus Lens.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, let's
Did you get
talk
it?
about this.
No, wait.
Did you
There's
get
internet
it,
people.
Anna?
They might get angry. I got it yesterday.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I played like 3 hours of PvP, and oh my god, I've never felt so powerful before in my life. Because I missed out on the Vex Mythoclast.
Yes, me too.
Me too.
Yeah, I got it the week after it got nerfed, and I was so angry. But whew.
And
Does
this
it
is
melt
like
people?
this is on another level than the Vex too, because this is like what 0.3 kill second time. Like it's like
People were saying like 0.2 or something like
Oh
that.
my
If you
gosh.
keep it on their head, not only does that, I think like they tweeted out that it shipped with a bug.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
the bug is it does continuous damage too, if they get
Oh.
out of the beam. So
The
you
bug
zap them for
is
like a
you
second,
win.
they run behind corner, and then they burn out, and you're just like, this is this is ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's the one thing I really want too. But I have been burning people with flames still because I started playing Sunbreaker all of a sudden, which I've been playing Striker for so long, even in D1. But just they did all these small buffs to Sunbreaker to make it like just I don't know, and just all together
Yeah, the
it feels
sunspots
really good.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, dude, the sunspot. So that has been so much fun in PvE because you can like, and they upped the grenades too. That instead of just they took down some of Striker's like pulse grenades, some of the damage, but they upped like almost every other grenade damage.
I think it was
And
pretty much every other grenade.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
did
and-
they
and
just like pretty much just buff all of Sunbreaker though? Like,
Well,
what is it,
just
more
it was
hammers
like
too that you can
specific.
throw?
Yeah, hammers are
You can
better.
throw more and stuff like that, but basically when you run with the bottom perk tree on Sunbreaker, like everything you do, whether you punch someone, kill someone with a grenade, or just start up your hammers or throw a hammer, like like sunspots show up everywhere, and so you can just. Basically, if you're in
Like
PvE,
this?
like whatever you do, there's flames everywhere, and enemies are burning in them, and so it's like it's amazing.
So you're like
It's
the
so-
devil.
Yes, exactly. And that's been a lot of fun. I haven't been able to, have fun where it's just like I'm burning enemies left and right as I'm running through whatever, especially in an area where there's a ton of enemies. It's so much fun.
Okay,
I haven't
Lucifer.
really did anything else but play Warlock, but they buff the supers for like Nova Bomb and stuff like that for PvE, and you actually feel powerful against the bosses. Like the big guys, the really buff guys, you Nova Bomb them, it takes out a lot of their health, and you're just like, yes!
That's awesome.
I'm just not throwing a purple thing.
Well,
Yeah, seriously.
I haven't played it yet, but Wilson pointed out to me, he was like, when they buffed all these supers, he was like, I'm not sure if they considered the fact that Golden Gun has Celestial Nighthawk. He was like, because I pretty much just one-shot a boss.
Oh, wait, they buffed the Golden Gun as well too.
All the supers, I think,
Yeah,
right?
all the supers.
Oh,
Jeez.
everything across the board. Oh, I didn't read all of that. I just kind of skimmed through it, all the stuff that happened.
And you
That's
have a
really cool.
podcast?
Like I said,
Oh.
professional.
No, I get it all the time with Division. It's like, how much do you play? You have a podcast on Division? I haven't seen you on today. I don't think you really should
Today?
have a podcast.
Do you even play this game?
Yeah.
Triton, what about you? I know you got to jump on Curse of Osiris right whenever I was jumping on, and Triton tried to get me to come join him at the beginning. I was like, no, I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to play the story by
Yeah,
myself.
I sent
and
you an
just-
invite, and you said, I can't right now, I'm busy, and I looked, and you were playing.
Okay, I need to
That's
clarify.
one more
Whenever that
invite than
happened,
Hope
I
sent
was
to the rest of
literally-
us. But
I had, like when you go to the tower and you leave it there, and then you go and like do the dishes or something, and
You
just
were
like,
in, like, a story mission.
yeah,
okay.
Lego kind of called out there.
He's like, okay. He gave up. You remember,
Yeah.
keep in mind, it tells me what you're doing.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe I was just standing still in the story mission. I don't know.
He's like, stop talking to me. It's very important. I'm busy.
It was me and Wilson, and I think I was with Wilson. We both cried.
I don't know. But Triton, how are you liking things?
The week in general has been pretty good, getting over the sickness at the end of last week. So just in time, actually, for the Senate to pass their version of the tax reform bill, which will be changing the corporate U.S. tax from 35% to 20% and taxing on, I think, domestic consumption as opposed to profits, which is quite big. So I'm not going to dive into that because that was a very stirring conversation.
Well, I picked a great episode to drink a bottle of wine.
Which was great. Okay,
I don't think I have enough wine for this, and I got a lot of wine.
20% destination-based cash flow tax with border adjustments is pretty big corporately. Also, that affects all of everybody's.
So, are you saying this is a good week for you, or a bad
No, this was
week?
a great week. So I had a conversation about that.
Okay,
so I like
sure.
to have conversations about those things, but it always bleeds into whether or not this blue wave is going to overtake in 2020 in response to all these things, and there's still healthcare on the table as well. But Destiny related did get to take.
I was just going to say that's how his week went. I'm glad.
Okay, but that was a big part of my
week.
weekend. Yeah. I enjoy those things, and I like to make mention from time to time.
Thank you for keeping me up to date with all the news.
So
that's
there you go,
Yeah.
Man, name me one thing he just said.
Something about taxes and having a great week.
Yeah.
Something about taxes.
So those things were great. I took a friend Flawless for the first time ever. I didn't even realize that the guy that works at the GameStop right in Robinson there, Hope, he had never been Flawless. So me and Fatebringer, one of his buddies, ended up taking him Flawless for the first time.
Took him Flawless.
So, okay, I did really well in those games. Fatebringer was very good. Obviously, he's very good. But
who was his
we
friend?
ended up going Flawless, which was cool.
Was it like
Noisy
Cooch?
Shark 78? So he was
nice.
He was a cool guy.
Awesome.
So we ended up doing that. But yeah, Curse of Osiris has been pretty cool. I've done the entire story. I did do one of the adventures. I did do the public event, although at that time we had no idea how to get to heroic. I was just happy we got it done on the first attempt. There was 4 or 5 people, and then didn't do any PvP yet, but I have done pretty much 1 heroic strike. So I tried to do as much as I could with with the new content. Which the heroic strike was cool. It's a little bit more rewarding than I guess the regular version of strike. It was the pyramidium.
Cool.
But yeah, that was pretty.
I don't know how
pretty
to
much
do
my week.
the
And then
public
in
event.
terms of other gaming in the week for Tinkkz, me and her basically trade assets in the market box for Animal Crossing Pocket Camp on a daily basis. Tinkkz helps me dig at the quarry and vice versa. We play.
Thank God for
Pocket
the
Really
mute button.
tempted. I'm really tempted to get this.
I forgot about that.
Thank God for the mute button.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
we do trade that. Her and River. Yeah, me, River,
River and
Tinkkz.
Lady. Have you added
I don't
Lady
have.
yet?
No, I have to add Lady. So
Speaking
I have-
of, I tried once River had to back out tonight. I tried to sneakily get Lady in here, and I wasn't going to tell any of you, but she couldn't make it. I was like, "There's going to be
Dang.
wine
would've
and
been-
Tinkkz. Just show
That
up."
would have been bad.
No, it would have been
That
great.
would have been bad.
Did you see Lego's tweet today? It summed him up perfectly. He was like, "I'm so nervous but excited, and I don't know what to do."
Have y'all seen that video of that girl with the nervous and excited girl before? It's
No, but it made me think of you.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. It's this girl who the Songify people did a song, they did a song remix of the video, but it's her just I think they found out later it was faked or something, but she's talking about how she loves all kinds of cats and how I don't even know,
cats.
but then
I love every kind of cat.
yes, that one. Yeah. And she's like, I'm excited, but I'm nervous at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, I'll
I feel
stop talking about it.
I think
So
I need
Animal
to
Crossing's been
look this
great.
up now.
That's the last thing I.
Is it free mobile game?
Yeah.
Free mobile game.
And it's
Among-
addicting.
so tempted.
Excuse me, I need to get a
Addicting.
second bottle of wine.
It's perfect for me because I am, if anyone doesn't know, I'm a mom of 2 special needs kids. So
Oh.
I have, did you just point at yourself? He's like, not special needs, but
Never mind. Just it was
be honest.
delayed.
He
It was,
said-
let's be honest,
Oh,
the
That was
jury's
bad
still out on
timing
that
for
one.
Mana.
it was just really bad timing on that one.
But I'm a mom of 2 special needs kids, so I have meetings and doctor's appointments and therapy and, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, Pocket Camp is perfect. I'm always playing video games as long as I have Pocket Camp.
Things I need a couple more tiger butterflies. If you happen to catch a couple more and throw them in your market basket,
Why is
please.
it when you need tiger
do.
butterflies, only monarchs show up, and when you
They're-
need monarchs, only
I
tigers
have no idea
show
what's
up?
happening.
That's
It's
what
the worst.
Okay,
It's-
so we need to talk to the devs about that because Bungie isn't shit when it comes to this problem.
Hope keeps trying to
Wait,
mute
I don't know if
people,
Tinkkz
but
knows
they're
that
not
she's
muted
muted,
in the
though.
actual podcast,
Am I
so
still
I'm not sure
muted?
what he's trying to
How long
accomplish right
have I
now.
been- how long
No,
have I
just
been
like 1
muted?
second.
No, it's only a
Oh.
couple seconds.
They're muted on the live stream.
So,
Jeez.
just saying,
Sorry
more Tiger
about
Butterflies.
Well, I know that we need to get to Destiny stuff, but before we do that, I wanted to just catch up with Tinkkz for a second. It's been like 60 episodes since we've had her on, and
Okay.
she's one of the leaders of Resolute, and so, Resolute's changed a lot over the past year that we've been doing this podcast.
Yeah.
We have almost like 100 members now, so that is freaking crazy, and it's grown so much. But I just wanted to catch up with you and see how things were going with, you have another podcast with The Division, like you were just hinting at earlier. And so, like, how's The Division been? How has other games been? Just what's
Hold
been
on,
going on
I need
with
to
you?
type all these down. If you're gonna
People
ask it.
people still play that game? Well,
I did
People
see
say
her
the same
tweet
thing.
recently. I may jump back in the Division. I need some trophies.
Professor Broman played today,
Who?
just so you know. So.
But not Rezo Professor, so...
No. He matters a little bit more, I guess.
there can be only one
know.
professor.
There
He
can
did
be only
used to play that.
one.
No, speaking of Division, I'm going to get this out of the way right now. There's a free weekend on Division right now. So if you're thinking about playing the Division, it's on every console and on PC. Free weekend. Free all DLCs too. And if you decide to purchase it, it carries over your progress. So
Nice.
good time to start. 1.8 just came out, so it's a big week for the Division. It came out the same day as Curse of Osiris. So,
Yeah, I heard that it was receiving, like, a lot of people were saying good things about it from
Yeah.
what I saw on Twitter. What is it that has, like, improved this time around as far as, like, this patch? What's,
So-
like, bringing people back, do you think?
So it's a lot like Destiny. There's a lot of good things, and a lot of people are happy, and there's a lot of people who are unhappy. So it's very similar to that. But as far as new things go, there's a new 4v4 PvP mode, Skirmish.
We
which
love
haven't
4v4
done-
over here at Destiny.
which hasn't been that hasn't been a thing. It's not like Destiny.
Uh-huh.
We had a PvP mode, but it was PvE/PvP. A lot of people wanted a pure PvP mode. So
Yeah.
we have that now. I say we like I made the game. This is my side. But I'll probably just keep talking like that because I don't know why. It's just happening, and it's just.
I mean,
it's
people
good.
probably think at your podcast that you work for, them anyway, right?
Right. Well,
You're
I
getting
was-
paid under the table anyway,
Exactly.
right?
That's
Just claim it now. Just
Yeah.
do it.
We're all a bunch of shills.
They did pay me in food and airfare at one point, but that was just one time.
There we go. Hashtag sellout.
Do you think it's a coincidence that I got a bottle of wine the same week the DLC dropped?
It's
Yup,
just,
uh-huh.
it's just a coincidence. And then there's also something called the optimization station. So a good thing. How can I compare it to Destiny? Because
It's a good name.
The Forge.
So we have a recalibration station in the Division, and
Ooh.
you can change perks on guns and weapons and stuff like that. But now there's an optimization station where after you change the perks and everything, you go over and you use a more high-end currency. So that's harder to get in the game, and you can actually optimize your weapons and your gear to get higher and higher and higher. So the gear score was raised a little bit. And then you can use the station to get your perfected, what you have, the piece that you have that you love, and then you can build it just to get like 1 or 2
Nice.
points. Just really min-max it, yeah.
I like that. And that's the kind of stuff that I know a lot of people really hope to see for Destiny is like really customizing their stuff more, and like you said, min-maxing is something that's very not in D2 right now. So especially,
sorry, I didn't mean to.
no, you're good.
Imagine if you got a currency in the Prestige raid that would allow you, every time you completed it, you got like 1 or 2 of this currency, and it would allow you to put 1 or 2 defense into a piece. Like how
Yeah.
cool would that be?
Really cool.
Something like that would really show like, and each one could only, maybe each piece could only go up by 1. You know what I mean? And then you're just showing like, I am the best of the best in Destiny, and I have completed the Prestige raid, which is the end game, and here's what I have to show for it. And even though you go into PvP and you won't be any better, but you will feel like you got something that proved that you have beat the game in a sense. So this is what they were kind of trying to go for with that. There's also a horde mode, so along the same lines of Destiny, but there's waves, and they have the most intelligent AI in the game used to just be in this one game mode, which was survival. And they put that into this, but it's like a surprise. Every once in a while, it's like, surprise, we put this really intelligent AI into this group of horde things, and so now you're going to have to deal with him along with all these other guys. And like basically, we have different factions in the division, and they've all been separate, but we've killed all their leaders. And this isn't a spoiler because this game has been out for 2 years. So, we've killed all their leaders, and now because no one has any leaders, they're all starting to work together. So from a lore standpoint, that's what's happening there. They're all starting to work together. You get in this horde mode. They keep coming. You try and get these waves. You get a currency where you can build fortifications and things like that, and it's just a fun mode.
That's cool.
And then they totally revamped Rogue. It's called Rogue 2.0, so in the Dark Zone's pretty revamped. And then there's a lot of balancing and other things that they fixed and stuff, so...
Cool.
Sounds
yeah,
like a completely different game.
Yeah, for real.
I think we may have to go back and explain some things to people who play Destiny, like getting things from the Prestige raid, end game. Some of those things we've never heard of in Destiny 2. We may want to explain those to some listeners.
That's true. I don't think one of us has completed a Prestige raid, so...
The subtle flames from Hove, man.
What, he's burning himself in that comment, too, so...
No, that was a Destiny 2.
He means the Destiny
burn.
community in general.
No, okay, I meant the game. Like, there's no end game.
Oh, see, I thought you were burning yourself because none of us have actually completed the Prestige raid.
No, the point was you don't get anything from it.
yeah, I mean, that's true. But,
we'll explain it to you later, Lego. Just
Okay. I'll roll with it.
I'm just going to pour myself another glass of wine.
I did too. He's going to have to edit out a lot of, like, pouring sounds.
Definitely not. It's all
empty.
staying in. I don't do any of that anymore. Tinkkz, you saying all those things just made me think, like, I want to know, like, what you think about, like, D2 just in general, like, playing even just the base game, not even Curse of Osiris or anything. Okay. But before because I also want to ask you, what are the things from the division that you've seen them improve on that you could see, like, that you'd like to see that kind of stuff in Destiny. But first, let's just start with just, D2, it came out, and we haven't talked to you since all that happened.
Right.
Just, what were the things that you enjoyed in Destiny 2 versus Destiny 1?
So much. I don't really get the whole Destiny 2 was a downgrade from Destiny 1, and I know that that's kind of the popular opinion right now. When I popped in Destiny 2, I was excited about it, but I wasn't I was still into the vision, and I played it day one, and I was excited, but kind of meh. When I started playing it, I was just like, yes, this feels so good. I think my favorite part was the fact that something you couldn't do in Destiny 1 was you could stack up a bunch of different objectives. And let me try and see how I'm kind of explaining. I don't know how to explain this very well. We had bounties, right? And bounties were cool, and that was the only thing you could really stack up with other things you're doing in the game. In Destiny 2, I felt like I could do flashpoints at the same time as challenges, at the same time as milestones, at the same time as getting the currency to give to whatever, planet guy that you're on. And I felt like I could do 5 things at once, and it felt very WoW-ish to me. And I've always loved, MMOs, and it felt very MMO-ish to me. And I felt like I was always doing something good. Now, when I hit that wall of 280 or whatever, and I started getting a little bit discouraged, and I didn't realize that I should have been saving the pieces that had like a +5 on it, things like that. And so I really let myself down in that. I got a little bit discouraged, but then when the raid came out, I loved the raid. You know that the raid's my thing. I loved PvP. I was actually good in PvP in Destiny 2. I felt like I was better in Destiny 2 than I was in Destiny 1. The raid, the lore of the raid felt very disconnected to me, but that's my only criticism. I loved everything else about it. I enjoyed it. I think Destiny 2 is great. I really do. I think I find it very hard to critique it.
Wow,
because
yeah,
I'm
that's
having
cool.
so much fun in it.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And on the raid stuff, we've talked about that so much. Hove's a very big proponent of how disconnected the
Tinkkz,
raid
we
is.
agree. Like two
We're
peas in
still
a pod.
not friends. We're still not friends.
Well, I love hearing different perspectives like that. People who just coming in, and I gotta throw in here real quick while I'm thinking about it. I discovered Destiny 2 subreddit for the first time today instead of just Destiny the game subreddit.
That's a thing.
And it's amazing. There's I checked it out today because some other Crucible guy was like, "Hey, check out Destiny 2 subreddit. There's none of the salt that's in Destiny the game." And I went and checked it out, and it really is.
Really
it's just all a bunch of memes that are joking about things that people don't like in the game, or it's like actual tips or lore or this cool video of somebody doing something. Like, it's not just complaining. And if it is complaining, it's probably put in a jokey kind of form, So it's great. Like, if you are
just
struggling.
ruined it.
No. I mean, it pains me to put it out there because I'm scared people are going to ruin it. But
It's
I
gonna
trust
happen.
I
It's
trust
gonna
people
happen.
who listen to this podcast, and not only that, but it's. I think that people are people who are still playing Destiny 2, people who are listening to this podcast, they want places that they can go find information that makes them want to play the game, that makes them excited. Yes, and constructive. And so, I just wanted to throw it out there. If you're looking for that place, Destiny 2 subreddit's a pretty cool place to go check out. So check it out.
And before this episode goes viral, and all the trolls from the D1 subreddit jump boat and go to the D2.
Oh my gosh.
Well, what you foster, you create, right? So it depends on how they're. It's hard to say this without trying to throw shade at the other Destiny subreddit, because they know they're doing their best.
Yes.
There's only so much you can do. I have a Facebook page with 65,000 people on it, so I know it's difficult for Destiny. So I know it's difficult to.
I used to be a mod.
Yes, you did.
All my accounts were banned. Manigator wasn't allowed on Facebook.
No, you got reported. They hate them. Yeah, they hate administrators there. But anyway, my point is that what you allow is the type of community that you're going to have. So that really reflects on the people who are taking care of that subreddit. So props to them.
Yeah,
Well,
props to them.
I find it interesting that you brought up what you allow is the kind of community you're going to have, because just last week, when talking with Maverick, we realized we brought it up a week early, but we talked about the week-long discussion of Bukkake that we had in REZO chat not too long ago. And you, as part of management of Team Resolute, I'm just wondering, you allow that, what kind of community are you looking for?
Okay, so REZO is an anomaly, right? REZO is gaming perfection. Okay, I feel like REZO is very special, and if someone was talking about Bukkake in the Facebook group, they'd be banned instantly, but you can say whatever you want in REZO.
I was going to add on to that. You also recruited a Hanzo main, aka Wilson.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay. I'll leave it.
There
I'll
are
leave
community
it.
questions
It's
that
a
need to be
simmering
answered.
question, so we'll get to that in a little bit. But we're like, how do we recover? But going back to the Division Destiny stuff, after playing D2, what do you feel like are some things, and seeing all the work that the Division's done, making it almost an entirely different game? What could you see happening with? First of all, that gives me hope that things that maybe people aren't fond of in D2, that D2 could add a bunch of stuff that's completely different than what we see now and still keep the game that we have now, for one. And then for two, I just wanted to see what you thought about what you could see happening with D2, or things you like from the Division that you'd like to see in D2.
So we kind of have an issue here with Destiny being a new game and also an old game, right? So we have half the community saying, look at where Destiny 1 was at this time and where it ended up, and look where Destiny 2 is at this time, and it could end up even better. But then we have the other half saying they should have learned from their mistakes, and they should have this and that, right? Which one is right, which one is wrong is not the issue. The issue is I don't want to go off on a tangent here. we don't know what restrictions they have. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We need to just enjoy this game. Just have fun. You like it, you like it. You don't. Let's just... Constructive criticism is great, but we have two sides to this and both sides really want to pull the other to their side. The people who love the game are just as guilty as the people who hate the game. You know, they just want people... Yeah. Everyone wants everyone to agree with them. And if we could just let people hate it and let people love it, everything will be great. But that's not really what you were asking. I just kind of...
No, but that's great, though. I love hearing that.
I'm just good with where Destiny... I'm good with where Destiny is right now, even though I may not be enjoying it in this moment. And so that means that I'm going to go off and play The Division for a little bit because Destiny is not my thing right this moment. And this is me before Curse of Osiris because I haven't had a chance to play it yet because I've had a lot of things going on in my family life. So my day to play it was tonight, but I'm on the podcast instead. See, so
sorry, Tinkkz.
So on Sunday I'm going to get to play it, and Sunday I'm going to play it, and I'm going to have fun. And is the story going to be too short? Sure. Am I going to play it for 3 hours and be done with it and then be pissed? No, because I paid $15 for 3 hours of entertainment, and I am cool with that. Like, I'm happy with that. Yeah. And there's going to be more hours to come, but I'm not saying that I'm not going to go back to The Division that same night and start playing that, but I'm not going to be pissed about it because it's just the way it is. That's the way games are. And when people say, nope, I'm not going to, that was a whole nother, nope. I was going to go into another tangent, and that would take half an hour, so never mind.
I like these Tinkkz tangents. We might need to
I'm kind of enjoying it, though.
Yeah, we might need to have
you're letting us know what you feel about it.
Sections of the episodes. We'll just bring her in every once in a while.
Don't encourage her.
Hey, I was interested.
Don't make me do it. I will.
So this conversation though really made me think. You know, for as many times over the lifespan of both games, Division and Destiny 1, that we compared them, not so much in gameplay, but even unhappy communities wanting change and things like that. I feel like Destiny 2 has really kind of now reminds me even more of the early Division than Destiny 1 did, because it was like all this hype, everything was going to be right, and people were really, really let down. And yeah, with D1 you had that, but it was just these like...
You had people saying Destiny 1 was just a beta. It was just as bad back then.
No, I'm not even talking about just the community. I'm just saying, like, you saw these like small things happening, but kind of similar to with the Division, you finally see Bungie like break down and say, look, we know we have to make a lot of changes, where they've never said that before. And it's kind of similar to, the Division. Like you said, it's a completely different game now. They've had to completely revamp, almost everything. So it really kind of reminds me more now of Destiny 2 than it did of Destiny 1 at the beginning. Yeah, which is completely irrelevant to anything.
No, it's true. I think
I see
red wine.
No, I think that's really interesting to think about now, especially the differences like in how they've changed, and that's crazy.
Like, I know that a lot of people was hoping that Destiny 2 was going to be like the messiah of the games. That they're just waiting for it, like the thing that will change everything. Because I think how Destiny 1 ended, like the meta or whatever, it was lacking. It was strugglesome. It was getting boring. I think people were just, because of that, coming over from that, being like maybe burnt out from the current Destiny, what we had, and the current meta, the current like whatever it was. And then Destiny 2 rolled in, which I thought they improved on PvE so much in D2.
Yeah.
I thought it was... It's kind of weird now. I play more PvE than PvP right now. It's weird.
You used to not play any PvE.
No, I'm actually enjoying a lot of PvE.
That's what I was going to bring up, is that normally I am like the PvP player, and I feel like Destiny has made me a PvE player as well, which is so weird because I'll play like Uncharted for the story, and then I'll drop it, and I'm done with it.
And totally
but Destiny, I'll actually play like the story, and then I'll keep playing player versus environment stuff afterward. Like right now, Curse of Osiris, I finished the story, and I'm still doing I'm still doing all the adventures. Yeah, I'm doing all the adventures, the public events, the stuff to grind for all the ornaments, the verses that you have to complete for forging new weapons. Like all this stuff is keeping me doing things, and I have no reason to jump into PvP like So I'm just not.
The thing for me is you have all that going on. I agree with you, but it's just like since I was a PvP guy, PvP is so different in D2.
Yes,
and it being shipped with only 2 playlists is what kind of killed me. Like the day Curse of Osiris dropped, I played through the campaign. I completely wiped out campaign. I did a little bit of extra PvE stuff. I don't the ventures. I did a couple of ventures and whatnot. I was like, okay, let's jump into Crucible. See, they did some changes to it. The first mode back was Supremacy, and I loathed Supremacy because that's all I used to get. That's all it got because I had to rely on RNG in order to get the playlist. And I'm just immediately just kind of killed the mood. I'm just like, I'm going to Fortnite. It's like, I don't want to play Supremacy. That was the first thing coming back. But it's just like...
I see Destiny a lot like, or any game, a lot like a marriage. So if you have the way your expectations are, if they're met or if they're not met, is how you're going to perceive what's happening. Right?
This is good marriage advice right here, guys.
So if you're more mature and if you know what to expect and you're not expecting the moon, like what I think it was Lego that said everyone thought this was going to be it was either Lego or Hove. Everyone thought this was going to be the most amazing thing, and everyone thought Destiny 2 was going to be the most amazing.
It was Mana, actually.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was just saying.
You all look the same. But if you think that that's what's going to be, of course you're going to be disappointed. And of course you're going to lash out, and you're going to be pissed, and you're going to be like, my $60 this and my $60 that. And if you're going into a marriage super immature and she's going to take care of everything and she's going to make my life so much easier and she's going to do, like, that's how I see it. You see what I'm saying? A stupid analogy.
I see it.
Maybe more of like a Vegas marriage.
See, the way I looked at it, man, like you were saying, everyone thought it was going to be like the Messiah and fix everything. I look at it like the Matrix.
Oh my gosh!
Like Neo was the one, and everyone thought he was the one. But it took him a while. He had flashes here and there. He did some cool shit, but it took him a little while to figure out his shit.
Hey, I like this.
And actually become, the one. See, boom.
But wasn't he like one of many ones by the end of that movie? But he just decided to go back in as opposed to reset the whole thing.
That's the first thing you decide to say this whole podcast?
I was thinking the whole time.
I was thinking that's...
I missed you.
No, I don't think
that's kind of the ending of the...
Yeah, who's that guy sleeping in the corner?
No. The third movie doesn't count.
Okay, well, I mean, that's the end of the trilogy.
Did you just say Sarah Booby?
What?
I'm sorry?
That's the wine talking.
What?
I'm lost. Do I have to rewatch The Matrix now? Did I not?
I know, well, we missed this part.
The third one does not count.
That was the ending scene.
The third movie. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All the boobies.
Oh my god.
So how much wine did you already consume?
The entire bottle.
Yeah, me too.
Wow.
Gone.
Well, hey, since we have like a bunch of community questions that we want to get to,
yes.
Before we get to those, let's just run through. I mean, we had a new expansion come out, so we need to talk about it. For what we've gotten to play, let's just do like general impressions, just a first, like, I don't know, what do you think about everything that you've played so far? Hove, I'll let you go first. Okay, no, not Hove go first. Trident should go first.
I've enjoyed it. I mean, I've enjoyed playing the Curse of Osiris. I haven't played with any friends yet. I think that's the main thing because, like Hove was saying, I don't like to enjoy a lot of things with Hove. So Lego and I jump in a party together. We're about to do story, and we're both like, let's do story independently. Lego's like, I gotta help my wife with the groceries real quick. And then like 10 minutes later, Lego's no longer in the party and playing the first story mission by himself. So... I mean, it was kind of like, oh man, I really thought that I was going to get to play this DLC with friends. Then Hove only invites Lego to the party later on instead of anyone else. I was on at the same time as you. I screenshotted it. And
you're a fucking liar.
So,
have you guys ever heard of the podcast Warlock School that used to be big in Destiny?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was the same argument between the two hosts of that.
It's like the Matrix, it's like the loop, it goes all over again.
Wait, but that's the whole
point. This is the second reincarnation.
So wait, if Destiny is Neo, who
Yeah.
is Morpheus?
Me.
No.
I'm the architect.
Yeah, but Morpheus wasn't as good as Neo, right? So
that was good.
It has to be whatever game isn't been as good.
But were you enjoying it, Triton? You said you were enjoying it?
Yes, I did really enjoy it. So the story was good. I enjoyed the story. The Infinite Forest was cool. It's different than I thought it would be.
Yeah, me too.
Some of the missions were a little bit longer, but I'm like, well, I'd rather have more to play than less to play. But I think every time you went in there for at least the story, there was like 5 to 6 different segments. I don't think I played any of them twice. Obviously, it's the first playthrough, so none of them were in the same sequence. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been here. I'm familiar with this. I did try to comb all of the areas though to make sure I got those, whatever those seeds are that you get that you could turn into Brother Vance. So once I discovered you could get those, and I was on Night Stalker anyways, I tried to do all of that. The adventure was okay, but I think I just don't enjoy adventures too much. They're like not quite as good as the story mission, but basically as long. Although the first adventure really takes you into kind of a cool area of the Infinite Forest when you get out of it. So I thought the environments are great.
I thought all 3 of the adventures. Have you played all?
No, I played the first one. I haven't played the other 2 adventures, but
they're actually pretty decent.
Yeah, I think so too. Have you played the heroic adventure?
No, see, I haven't got to any heroic adventures.
Dude,
Nava and I jumped into. We didn't realize how challenging those things would actually be. We were in a fire team of only 2, and we're like, yeah, let's just try these out. We just did them. We know what's up. And the first couple enemies was just like, wow, these guys are really tanky. They're doing a lot of damage to us. Like, okay, this is something. I wasn't expecting that challenge.
I went in solo, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just do this heroic thing solo, and it was like playing Nightfall when you were under-leveled in Destiny 1.
I was just thinking about that. It was reminiscent. Yes. It made me feel like original, OG Nightfalls, where it's just like, I'm powerless unless I have a teammate or I take it slow.
It was tough.
I can't bum rush in there.
Did you guys complete them? So were the rewards at the end befitting for what basically you had to go through, or was that kind of, because that's kind of like that's the debate we always have.
I don't remember the rewards. That's the
to be fair, that kind of answers the question too.
Yeah.
Well, no. On that
I
one.
think that's a problem with just Destiny 2 in general that we talked a lot about, is you don't remember where you got stuff because you just get engrams and you never get an exotic where you got it. You have to bring it back.
Talking about engrams. Yeah, this is kind of just off, but those buff dudes in public events that weren't really a part of it, they just randomly showed up to kind of give you those guys. If you kill them now, they actually they just shower a whole bunch of tokens and engrams when you kill them. I noticed
that. Yes.
Before you just kill him, you're just like, what was this guy doing here? He was super buff and he was like a boss you didn't know was a boss. And now they actually, you kill them, they just
you get tokens and stuff.
It's just like a little sprinkler of just a whole bunch of tokens and engrams. I'm just like, that's kind of nice now.
I like that. Yeah.
And the new public event. Have you guys got a chance?
Yeah. Did do the new public event. I did enjoy it.
Did you get to do the heroic version of it?
I didn't get the heroic.
I've done the heroic, yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually fun. It was by far the funnest, the public event. I haven't done the second one, the one on Mercury.
Yes, one
I've done. But apparently there's another one that can randomly happen on Earth that people were telling me about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's 2 new ones. I haven't looked it up or anything, but apparently there's another one.
I need to check that out. Find it. The one on Mercury is really fun, though. I agree with you. It's fun to run around with a rift thing and slam it in different places and stuff. So,
all right, my first time playing it, I was solo waiting for Nava. I was waiting for Nava Bear to jump on. He was in a party chat. He was logging on and everything, and I was playing with 2 blueberries. And you have to kill these hydras every time you kill hydra or the shielded things that float around.
Yeah.
Whenever they die, they kind of drop and explode after a few seconds.
Oh god, I used to die in that.
My blueberries. The blueberries had no idea. Every single time, I just float there and wait, and then they charge in to pick up the orbs and explode. I'm like, yes, they did it again.
I used to do that all the time.
I hate when I do it and people remind me. I'm like, I know. I'm just stupid. Stop telling me things I already know.
I forget
too. The worst part is I was laughing at the blueberries, and then when Nava joined, we did it again, and then I did it. Oh. And then I did it. And I was just like, shut up, chat. Don't you even call me out.
Don't do it. That's that subreddit I was talking about, the Destiny 2 one. That's one of the top things up there right now. Is gosh, I love blueberries at the EDZ event where the glimmer thing. Once you disarm one of the first glimmer spots, the thing falls down and blows up on the glimmer spot you're supposed to protect. But a ton, and so it's just a GIF of all of these guardians running into the glimmer spot and the thing falling down and killing 8 of them at once. It's amazing.
You think after so many public event farms, I would actually catch on to that?
No.
The initial drop and it starts farming glimmer, that can kill you, and that constantly still kills me.
Yes.
Like, I'm there just walking around, not paying attention, maybe looking at chat and, casually killing. I'm just like, what just killed me? And then whoever I'm playing with is like, dude, you're just hovering around the Glimmer Farm. You can't do that. I'm like, how have I not caught on, onto this yet?
None of us would ever survive in a real MMO. Like, let's
No.
be none of us.
No.
Like, Sword Art Online stuff, I'd be like a guy to like die by falling off a cliff. I don't know if you guys ever seen Sword Art Online, but it's
Yes.
like you're stuck in a virtual like thing, and if you die in real life. I'd be the guy to accidentally like tumble over a cliff immediately, day one, and I'm just like, there I go, I'm dead. How did Mana die? Pebble on that cliff. That cliff right over there.
There was this one chick in our Facebook community who was always like calling people casuals if they were good at raids, and this like as a insult, and she just throw it around, if you like this game, it's because you're casual. Like, she was always angry, and I was like, you're playing Destiny. I love this game, but you realize you're playing Destiny, right? Like, anyway.
Oh, that's amazing.
We're all casuals, right?
Yes, most definitely.
I mean, even the even the hardcorest of hardcore. That's what I love about this game.
I'm only in the hardcore.
Whatever.
Just not
That is not
hardcore
true.
as-
The way you were
That's
playing
pretty
PUBG
true.
the other
The
night,
one-way
that is
Hove
not
was
true.
using his
Lego, we weren't talking about Destiny anymore.
We're beyond that point, obviously.
Well, one of the things that I was really excited about for Curse of Osiris was the story. Like, that was the thing that I think had me most hyped going into it.
Are we
And
done
then
giving our
actually-
general impressions?
I mean, this is mine.
Oh.
Did we skip someone besides Lego?
Yes. So that was one of the things I was like most looking forward to, and I thought that was going to be like the highlight of mine, but that was one of the like the lesser thing. Like, after I finished it, I was like, whatever. And then, but the rest of the expansion like really like did it in for me. Like, the art direction, like I mentioned before, the heroic strikes, like y'all were talking about, like that is really fun, and I think it's really rewarding every time I finish one. And I really, really like the new heroic adventures because those ones have the modifiers on that the Nightfall has on it. And so it was fun to like do the whole like switching elemental damage to do bonus damage and stuff like that. It actually makes it more of a mini game while you're playing through. I wish the heroic strikes had those modifiers, but I get why they need to keep it for the Nightfall. But I just really liked that part of it, and I'm enjoying the grind overall for everything too. Like, there's just a lot of stuff to do, as I mentioned before, which grinding for those verses stuff, the verses for the forge weapons, and grinding for ornament stuff. I love the way that they did ornaments, which we can talk about it later, but that's probably my favorite in-game thing that they've added in so far. I'm excited for Masterworks weapons next week, but ornaments were done really well for like go do specific things, get specific gear. So that's kind of like my overall.
But where do you have to go in order to get those? Like, I haven't actually.
So it's different for every ornament. So if you say you like the Crucible gear, all the Crucible gear, even the stuff that you had before, like I really like the Titan mark that you get from the Crucible, and it's like the one that has the big like bird symbol on the back of it. And if you apply the ornament, it makes it into like chainmail version of it, like this super iron version. And to get it, it's like do these certain things in the Crucible, do so much of it, like play 200 games or something like that. Like, it's like a grindable thing for that thing that you want, and so it makes you go to a specific activity. So like Trials of Osiris ones, those ones look crazy. They change even the current Trials of Osiris gear that you have, it makes it look entirely different if you put an ornament on it. And to apply that ornament, I looked at some of them. One of them was like win 100 games or something like that in Trials. One of them was like go flawless and do all this other stuff as well. It had like multiple things to it, and once you unlock an ornament, you can use it as much as you want on any gear that you get. So it's pretty cool, and it's like very go do this, get that, which is stuff that we were wanting in Destiny.
Yep.
Give us a number to chase for.
True. That is something that everyone's been crying about, but I got a couple criticisms for actually like extending the grind.
Yeah.
For the forge and where you have to do the verses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In order to get some of the things, you have to regrind a ton of public events.
It is a lot of public events.
And
oh
I'm
my
just
gosh.
like, oh god, this is like week 1 and 2
The
of Destiny all over
yeah,
again.
The opposite of what you wanted.
That's one of my major criticisms, I think.
I'm with you on that being kind of a little much.
Campaign was like, it looked beautiful. It sounded. They revamped some of the sound effects too in some of the guns. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Some of the sound effects. It was the Vanguard weapons, maybe? I don't know. There's certain weapons that for some reason they tweak stuff, but it sounds good. It sounds good. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, the everything looks really good, flashy, really cool.
Dude,
how many cutscenes did we get?
The door to the Infinity Forest, that looks so cool. I don't know what it is. Something about walking in that thing. Just, it looks like, I mean, I mentioned it last podcast when we saw the trailer for it all, but like actually playing it and when you walk through it, like just the sounds it makes and everything, it's amazing.
Oh, another thing I gotta say. What I think Trine was saying, some of the places that you go to like reoccur, like you keep on. It was the like the bridges you gotta keep on going into to get into the Infinite Forest or whatever it's called. You go through those a lot over and over again to get. I didn't realize how far of a walk you gotta go because like during the bungee stream where they showed it the first time, it made it kind of look like you just kind of run and choose like left, right, or something. Or, like,
it did, yeah.
No, it's actually really far.
Yes.
But other than that, it was, I don't know, I still got a grind to do. I still want that the baby Red Death hand cannon.
Yes,
because apparently that's
awesome. Me too.
Apparently that's kind of really good. Is what I'm hearing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's a 3-round burst. It was like what, a 3-round burst hand cannon that could 2-tap and heal off of every kill. I'm
awesome.
Like,
well, by 2-tap, do they all have to? Does it have to be 6 headshots?
I think it might be 2 full bursts into.
I was just curious. I didn't know.
Yeah.
No one's thinking about that because of Prometheus Lens. Like no one's
true.
focused on that. But once that's you can't say nerfed because it's not being nerfed; it's being fixed.
It's being fixed.
Once that's fixed, I think this is what everyone's going to go after.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. What I'm hearing, it's those two that might be game breaking. People have been saying in my chat that I think it's like New City SMG, something like that.
I got that.
It's also really good.
Is that the
one? I have it too. I haven't really used it.
Is that the Hake
because
one?
I'm abusing Prometheus.
Has a big silencer on the end of it?
No, it's not the silence entirely.
Okay.
I think it's the Hake one, and I didn't like it because I don't like Hake weapons. I don't like the way the Hake like autos and pulses fire. I don't like.
You don't like the Antiope at all?
I never had one.
Oh gosh, I love that gun so much. That's all I've been playing with the entire DLC. Really, it's so fun.
I never got
Prometheus Lens, man.
Sorry,
I want it.
I can't be part of this because I'm flirting with Rally in chat right now.
That's happening.
You guys need to grind for that weapon. Abuse it now while you still can.
Do it.
I still haven't found a 4-man team like up against me.
Oh, that would be so fun.
I guess. Dude, that'd be so aggravating to go up against a full man, like 4-man team.
Let's do it.
But
Let's
I want it just for the revenge.
I hope Sir sells it, so it's just full 4v4.
Yeah, I want it for the revenge of never having Vex Mythic class at its status.
Exactly.
You know, like you said, Mana.
I think that's why I'm just like, I love it so much. Like, I never got to abuse something so much until now.
I got the Vex on my first Atheon.
Nice.
Oh, you were one of those people.
I know.
You were. Hovey was part of my crew, and he got it first.
What makes it worse? I didn't like it, so I never used it. I didn't even know it was OP.
Oh, you didn't know?
Used it. Like
that's like me with Galahorn.
Yeah, same, exact same.
But I didn't care for it, so I just did. Oh, I know it's OP, but I didn't get. That's how I am.
Yeah,
it's like I got Galahorn really early on D1, but I'm like, it takes up an exotic slot for my heavy.
But
yeah, it's like it's a heavy weapon. Why would I?
We got the Warcliff coil, and we're like, maybe this is the Galahorn. Like we're all trying.
Yeah. New Galahorn.
I mean, it's pretty good. That's all I've been running too. The other day, I did something with it that was crazy. It was with the Warcliff coil. If you have a Titan thing or anything that reloads your weapon automatically, and you use a Warcliff coil, it's so freaking good. That's what Slayerage was using. For like 2-man raid stuff. I remember a lot of times he's like putting up a Titan barrier and using the Warcliff coil like that. Oh, it's so good.
A really good rocket launcher. It's a new rocket launcher. It's a Hake rocket launcher that came in the I forget what it's called, but
is it the faster velocity one?
I don't know. It's a heat-seeking one. Oh, and it does a ton of damage. I swear. I don't know if they buffed rocket damage overall or something, or it's just this rocket. I swear, I'm hitting these bosses, at least in PvE. I'm hitting these bosses. It's doing a lot of damage.
Wow.
It's a Hawk A1 with the heat seeking.
I need to check
you
that
guys
out.
you guys need to find that. For PvE, it might be my most favorite PvE, like heavy. Like, I thought Hawthorne's was the best.
Dang.
I can't get over Merciless. I just love
I
Merciless.
do like Merciless.
It's really cool.
I think Hawthorne's just, I don't know, I was too attached to Hawthorne. I never gave Merciless really a go. It's just so good.
Hove, what were your thoughts on just everything?
Oh, am I allowed now? Am I allowed to talk?
No.
I mean, I guess.
Are you out of timeout?
No.
No. No, I mean, I liked it. I kind of touched on it at the beginning. It wasn't going to be a fix all for everything.
Yeah.
If you took it what it was for, the art and the music especially are just
music's
top
really
notch.
good too, yeah.
Like when you go into the Infinite Forest, it looked like something from No Man's Sky with like all the like rolling plains and like the trees, and it was really, really cool looking. And I thought some of it was a little bit repetitive. Like it seems like a lot of the like story things, it was like you would fight, you were out in this like, all these floating things, and you would fight some dudes, and then you go up and it would say open door, and then there'd be another one, and then another one. And it felt like it was a lot of that, but I mean, it was still cool to look at, and I mean, you're still just fighting the same people anyway, so I don't know. It's just kind of...
It felt like the story missions reverted back to how D1 was, where you talk to an NPC, they tell you to do something, you shoot that person or scan it, and then you rinse and repeat. That's what I kind of thought about the... Except for the actual, like, big battles, like boss fights.
The last battle was a lot different.
Yeah,
and you were actually in that space that Ho was talking about. But I think that's... I don't want to, like...
we don't have to,
but like the Infinite Forest is going to lend to that, unfortunately, right? Like you're going to basically get on this little platform or two and then open the door and then move on to the next one and then get on a platform or two, open the next one. So it does kind of, to everyone's point, lend to that, which is maybe not ideal for repetitive play.
One thing with it is I don't feel like it's repetitive. Like, yeah, you do the same thing, but I don't ever know, like, I'm not able to predict, like, okay, this is next, or okay, like, this is what I do here. I mean, and I played through all of them and the heroic ones. Same. Yeah, I know. But just for me, like personally, like I was having fun like going through it. It wasn't like these enemies spawn here because of the way that the way that everything spawns in. It was just harder to predict, I feel like, than a typical area.
It comes with the territory. I've been playing games for so long, like that this is how they are. They're going to get repetitive. It's gonna be like that. And that's what I think a lot of people who are playing this type of game need to realize. The way Bungie is, they attract a certain type of player. When it comes to like more like Halo players and stuff like that, a lot of them haven't played a lot of MMOs, and a game like this, that happens a lot, and you're used to it if you've played a lot of MMOs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, you definitely can't say comparing. Like, if you let us grind the same strike 15 times to get the strike ornament and then say like, oh man, why'd I have to do this 15 times? I mean, like, obviously, and that's what we hear a lot. So
maybe I'm comparing it too much to other games.
Or not? Do you want it handed to you, or do you want to work for it? And yeah.
What were you gonna say, Mana?
I think I might be comparing maybe the single player like campaigns to other like single player campaigns too much compared to what is coming out now, though. Like, I go back to other games like Horizon Zero Dawn's campaign.
Right. Oh, gosh.
And then I go back to, like, anything else. I go back to Destiny. I'm just like, talk to person, shoot said thing, go back, like... That's
fair. That's really fair.
Man, you got a little robot.
You don't even have a cell phone. You have to go and travel to every person yourself. I don't know. Space cell phone, maybe? I don't know.
You got some robot going on there, man. A little static.
Oh, it's not just me? I was checking my internet and shit.
No, you're good.
Is it going on right now?
Yeah.
I'll be back.
But no, I mean, that wasn't like a big complaint. Like I said, I still really enjoyed it. Like I thought it was a lot of fun. It was pretty much what I expected. Tinkkz is dying.
she thought that all the wine had gotten to her.
I'm doing okay.
Hi, Mana.
Sorry, that was really funny.
Hi.
It's still there.
Nope. Oh, it's still there? How is that possible?
Oh no, how do I fix this?
Stop existing.
You might try just switching your audio input in Google Hangouts for a second, and that might fix it. But I'm trying to think if there was something else that I wanted to add on to all of that, but I can't remember what it was.
It was super.
going through all of the Infinite Forest stuff, going to the past in the Infinite Forest, it looks amazing. Like, I didn't think there would be a location that I would be like, oh wow, this looks incredible. But that was insanely amazing, I thought.
I'm so excited.
It's really cool, Tinkkz. It reminded me actually of something from Titanfall 2, because I really like the story in that game.
Titanfall 2 is so
good. And while like the story wasn't on that level of that campaign, like the location of one of the areas you go to, I was like, oh, this is giving me such big visually, Titanfall 2 feels.
Yeah.
Giving you such big what?
Feels, Hove.
Oh, okay.
Feels.
He doesn't get feels. Like, he doesn't understand.
Yeah. I know it's hard for you, Hove.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh my god. Like, just go.
Is it that bad?
Yeah.
It actually has gotten worse, I think.
How is this possible? I don't know. Because his recording's always fine. It's only in here.
You know, that's what I was going to say earlier. When you guys invited me on the podcast, I had forgotten that Mana was even a host until Gunga had tweeted at me something.
Mana forgets he's a host till like 9:50 p.m.
Exactly. So who here actually thought Mana was going to come here every week? Because I didn't. I love you, I love you, Mana, but you're the most inconsistent person I've ever met in my life.
I come back to hear that.
Oh, still
messed up.
And still
Messed
sound like
up.
a robot.
That's fine. I think it'll, because it's just for the stream.
He's good.
Still bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, now it's coming through here. I don't know.
Perfect. It sounds great.
Tinkkz, drink your wine. Drink your wine.
It's almost,
drink the wine.
It's
wine.
almost
Drink the wine.
I'm turned on right now, Mana.
Oh.
Hove, did you have anything else to add? I'm trying to think if there was. I know there was something else that I wanted to say about all this, but I can't remember.
No,
maybe you'll come out in the community questions.
Oh,
I was going to say something else
in the
too.
community questions.
What were we just
I think
talking
we
about?
should go ahead and get to the community questions, because I think unless anybody has anything else to say about Curse of Osiris, but I think generally like we've all pretty much hit all the big stuff that's come out. I'm really excited next week for Masterworks. You know, this isn't all that's coming with, like, I guess the live team. There's more stuff on the way. And with the way ornaments are in particular, that's like been the best thing as far as long-term in-game. Maybe not super long-term, but somewhat of an in-game, you know, if they keep going down that path for Masterworks, giving us specific things to do, that would be great. So I'm glad that they've implemented all that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo! Okay, Hope, let's do it.
I'm scared.
I hope you guys are ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
My body's ready.
We're going to start off with the two most important ones.
Okay.
First one is from Gungasaur.
Oh, God, why?
For Tinkkz. She wants to know, can we bang? Yes or yes?
Wait, we as in the
you and her.
Podcast? Oh, me and her. Is she okay?
But also yes, all of us.
Is she okay with banging Mana's mom? Like, there's a lot of questions.
That's what I told her.
There's
I saw
a lot
the
of questions.
Oh, yeah.
We have to answer this. I will DM her and we will get this sorted out. How about that?
Hash it out.
Yeah.
So I actually saw that question on Twitter, and
Did you
I
see
told
her
her
actual answer to it?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
would you like
mine?
me to read it?
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I had wine that night, too.
Tinkk's answer on Twitter was, and I quote,
Oh,
only
God.
if you sneeze fart before and after.
I can't. Why would you put me on blast
Wow.
like that?
Before,
Why
Wow.
would you do this to me, Hope?
I'm sorry, your next answer on Twitter, where there are a lot more people than my Twitch stream. I said, oh, I was intrigued, now not so much. And you said, sex is a dirty act, Hove. Maybe you'll see one day.
That's awesome.
Also, you said you had wine that night?
Mm-hmm.
That's neat, because it was at 3:39 p.m. your time.
Shit, I'm so exposed.
Power of the internet.
So exposed. Did I mention I have 2 special needs children? That requires a lot of wine, okay?
All time of the day.
Farting,
3:39,
apparently.
maybe not so much, but still.
She runs on wine, actually. She's like Bender from Futurama.
No,
It is
it's
her
like
fuel.
it's like coffee until 3:39 p.m. and then wine.
Oh, 3. So I got you right when you started.
Right,
Right when
that's
she
your
started.
fault.
Totally.
She shotgunned the wine bottle right there at 3.
No,
right,
I
we
was
have-
Pound one.
I was probably completely sober. I'm the same.
We have some
But
really
I did
important
ask Gunga,
questions this week. I just want you
just
to know.
to finish it off, I did ask Gunga that does she know that you're my mom, and she's like, that makes it even better. That's
God, I love
that's
her.
what she told me.
God, I love her. I'm gonna steal her from you one day.
Oh
It's
my
just gonna
god.
happen.
So, question that really needs answered here.
Okay.
This
is a
one's
serious
from-
one.
This one is from Hanzo309,
Okay.
and he says, "Let's get to the bottom of this. What the hell is your problem with Hanzo? Is he too handsome? Too many scatter arrows? Do you not like dragons? Please explain."
Okay. None of those. I just don't like Wilson.
That thought, I thought she was going to go into deep explanation
Oh,
about
rip
Hanzo.
Wilson's career.
Burn.
Well, I mean, seriously, he keeps Sammy, this beautiful woman, all to himself. Like, who can like him? It's rude.
I love him.
It's mean. No, I love him.
I also love you,
I
Wilson.
love him from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, me too.
He's a bromigo.
I think it's just become a Hanzo main joke thing. I just went too far with it. In fact, I am like the biggest like advocate for play what you want, do what you want, have fun, do whatever, and then I'm like, Hanzo main, you stupid.
All right.
So it's just
Amazing.
Wilson. That's the answer.
That's fair. He told me I had to ask the question as Hanzo309 and not Wilson309, so
Oh, okay, yeah, because there's a huge difference.
yeah. I just want to
Yeah.
point out that it's now been a week, and Wendler has not yet noticed that he is no longer a mod in my chat.
Oh.
Oh, wait, he just said wait in all caps. Maybe he just realized.
Oh, ask Tinkkz her main. Oh god, I'm gonna roast.
Oh,
it
what's
now.
your main, Tinkkz, from chat?
Lucio.
What's wrong with Lucio?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
nothing's
waiting
wrong
for
with Lucio.
Wendler to say. Wendler's probably about to be a dick right now. I don't think you are.
I'm always, yeah.
I'm generic soldier man whenever I play, which is like once every 7 months.
Cool. So maybe we'll be on at the same time because I'm about once every 7 months too.
Oh, really?
Oh, there's Wilson. Hi, Wilson.
Oh, he's
What
been in
do you
here. That's why I asked
know?
the question.
Oops.
I got to it. He said, yeah, let's get the
Oops.
question. All right, Bossy would like to know, how do you balance being a mom, an admin for REZO, amazing podcasts, and just being awesome?
I love her.
She balances them by not being an admin for REZO.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Okay.
Who is organizing a secret Santa right
Oh god,
now?
she's coming over.
What?
Hide.
Oh,
She's gonna
crap.
find you.
Oh, watch out.
she's
She
either
just
leaving
left
or
her
she's
seat.
coming.
She knows.
She's
She
getting
knows
in the
everything.
car to come get you right now.
Gonna take her.
Oh.
Okay. What would you... I'm going to follow up that question with a question for Hove. How would you like me to be a better admin, Hove? How would you... What would you want me to do to be a better admin?
Drink more
You're
wine.
looking for a new host next week.
I mean, I don't really have an answer to that. It was just a joke.
Yeah, if someone... Tinkkz, I have a follow-up question for you. If someone gets kicked out of REZOlute, do we technically have to kick them off REZOcast
Right,
as well?
absolutely.
So Hove's going to be gone next week.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
It's a twofer.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Which means
everybody
I'll
in
move up to
chat
number
and
3
listening on
host. I'm really
iTunes,
excited
it's
for
been
that.
fun. I will start my own podcast.
Hovecast.
That's 76. Don't forget the 76.
76.
Hey, it kind of sounds nice, honestly. Hovecast 76 has a nice little ring to it.
The answer is you never sleep. I don't sleep. And that's why I'm such a nutcase all the time. That's my answer.
All right. Fatebringer. If Apple made a car, would they install Windows?
I feel like that's rhetorical.
What?
It's so bad.
What time did Fatebringer tweet that? I'm just curious as we're looking at the timing. Was that like a 3 a.m. special?
1 a.m.
1 a.m.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Love you, Fatebringer.
All right, Rezo Maverick has a serious question here.
Okay.
How does it feel to look at Rezo and know that you've had a big hand in forming the family we have? Do you have anything you would change?
Okay. Looking at there's a lot of things, especially so Rezo Secret Santa is one of my favorite things that we do every year, and watching the videos and everyone get awesome gifts and the smiles on everyone's faces and all that, bullshit that everyone says around Christmas time. That's fun. That's fun. Things like that are what make me really happy. The genuine relationships that happen when I see pictures of people meeting people. There's been a lot of us who have met people in real life. There are real friendships. We've been in each other's weddings. All that kind of stuff that's the point of gaming to me. Gaming is not just playing video games. The relationships that we have with each other. I wish that I could do more game nights and stuff like that, and the way that my life is right now isn't allowing that, but I don't feel bad about that. I think my biggest regret right now is letting Wendler in the clan.
I'm with you. Yep.
It almost didn't happen,
Yeah.
He didn't make it at first.
Yeah. And I think that's what you need to take away from this, listeners of this podcast, is always trust your gut.
Always stay away from Wendler.
And always stay away from Wendler.
Also, Lego is also starting a podcast called Lego Lay Dong Cast.
Oh my god.
It sounds so good. Like,
I don't
feel
think
like
I could.
You need to make it now.
I don't know if I could stream that on Twitch.
What the fuck?
Just have a podcast, just only you two, Dongcast 76 or
Lego Lay Dong Cast 76.
you
Lego,
guys do your own thing.
I don't know how to actually put together a podcast, so
No.
I'll be doing Dongcast 76 here in a
I'll
few
do the
weeks.
editing.
I'm gonna need you guys to do all the editing and everything.
Oh my gosh.
This time, Tryon and I are going to be there, but we're literally going to be those Asian guys in the background not doing anything.
Oh my god.
Oh, so it's just basically Triton in this podcast.
What?
You need some minorities mixed in there so people
God.
don't call you out.
Poor Triton. The worst part about this is he's brilliant but quiet. I love when Triton opens his mouth.
Don't overhype him. Don't because you feel bad for telling me he has a shitty haircut.
When he started talking about wieners the last time I was on this podcast, it was the most weird
that's
thing
right.
I'd ever
We talked
heard.
about humanoid hot dogs.
Yeah, it was.
Oh no. We don't need to bring that up again.
Oh, humanoid hot dogs?
It was.
I don't even know.
It was life changing, Nana. Life changing.
Were they Lego size?
Dominoes and humanoid
We don't know.
hot dogs. It was.
Oh, wait, that was the Domino's episode?
Yeah.
Oh no. No.
By the way, Domino's is going to survive this corporate tax cut, so I'm just
So
saying.
we have one of my favorite questions, I think, of all time.
Most of their consumption is based in the U.S. So
This one's for everybody.
I love him.
I'm just saying.
so
I mean, that's
smart.
a good aside.
Do you just look these stats up?
Take a note of.
when you're bored?
He knows everything. You just
Well,
don't.
no,
know.
I mean, it's
He
not
just
that they're.
doesn't talk enough.
Don't look up the
That's
stats. It's
point.
just it's how it is.
He
Obviously,
just
It looks
knows.
like
I feel like
You know when people check
He's an
social
insider,
media
man.
at night and they got their phone and they're looking at it in bed,
Oh, yeah.
right before they go to sleep and they fall asleep and their phone drops. Triton, instead of looking at social media, he's looking at
Everything in the
corporate, everything in the world. That's right. That's right. It's not just taxes. It's everything.
going back
Well, it's
to the
also
Matrix.
healthcare reform because that was supposed to be on the back end of that bill, but they
See?
used it elsewhere. So the GOP was
Going
trying to
back to
tie
the
all of those
Matrix.
things to supersede the
He has a plug in the
supermajority.
back of his head. I'm calling it out now. He just plugged into the internet. He just
I dare you guys. I dare you guys.
I
at
know
the
Kung
end-
Fu.
At the end of every episode, just to let him talk for 15 minutes, and you guys will realize he's a robot. It's been a long time enough. You need to know.
I
Hope's
believe it
just
now.
staring at us. He's not even asking any more
because
questions.
he tried to ask a question and we all.
No, I'm
interrupted
just
him
letting you
20
guys do
times.
your thing
We're done. We're done, Hove.
Go ahead.
as
Hove.
we all fake praise Triton.
Oh, he's jealous. That's what's happening.
He.
Oh,
Oh, it's adorable.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Okay.
this is Hove's Twitch channel. We need to give him the floor. Go ahead, Hove.
Tinkkz is great on this podcast.
Yeah, we need to
Tinkkz
get her
is
on
my
more
least
often.
favorite guest of all time. All right. Next question. One of my favorite questions ever asked on this podcast. Rezo Monk asks, and this is for everybody, I guess.
Oh no.
The hosts of REZOcast are in a Hunger Games style death match to determine who can remain in Resolute. Who would win? Who would die first? If you could bring along one other member of Rezo so it's a duo, who would it be? And you can bring one melee weapon. What is it?
I feel like I should have done some research on this. Crap. All right, I'm not.
I already
I'm not
know what I'm
going
going to do if I find a Wendy's.
Yeah, I'm not going first. Go,
If I find
go,
a Wendy's.
Man.
And we're going to be super polite and let our guest go first.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
ready.
No?
Okay, so I'm obviously a wood elf druid in this, and I've rolled a d20. So I feel like Nana knows what I'm talking about. Look at his face. He knows what I'm talking about.
Don't get me into this, all right? Because I can keep it going. We'll be in this for another 7 hours if we're going into detail.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Okay, so the hosts. Okay, so I feel like Triton's gonna win. He's gonna use
Yeah.
he's
Bullshit.
gonna use his intelligence. He's quiet but deadly.
He's like a fart.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, it's
just
like a-
like Mark.
Like a fart.
So good he does that. Although Lego has his like little spike at the top of his head, he could just use some kind of like something and like it could be a weapon.
Oh.
It could.
How much wine have you had to drink?
You don't know how much
Dude,
product
it's
is in here.
gone. The entire bottle.
Lego's going to use his hair as a weapon.
This is really impressive, like where mind is taking us. I feel like this is going to be like a nice little novel that we can write about.
Yes. What were the 3 questions again? It was like, who would die first?
Who would win? Who would
win?
die first?
Triton
And then-
would win.
Who would you take if you could make it a duo and take another member of Rezo? Who would it be?
Gotcha.
Okay.
And if you could take one melee weapon, what would it be?
I want.
This is all within Rezo, right?
Okay, I want some fucking scimitars because scimitars. And
What the
then
fuck is a scimitar?
Don't interrupt me, Hove.
I don't know what that is.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. It's a type of sword. Just
That
keep-
sounds dumb.
You're
Could have just
dumb.
said sword.
Have you seen your face? Jeez. Okay, so. Oh my god, you look so sad right now. I'm sorry. I love you. I love you. And then I want to take Lady because she's my best friend. And then no other reason. There's no actual thought behind any of this. And then I feel like Hove's gonna die first because he's a little bit sensitive. He can't handle the Hunger Games.
You clearly
Oh.
don't. You clearly don't know me.
Oh. I'm having a hard time with this. This is
Your
difficult
turn,
to choose.
Hove. You go now.
Nope.
Yeah, Hove
I'm the
goes.
podcast Twitter boss, and I say Triton's next.
Twitter bot. So specific.
So, what district am I from in these Hunger Games per se? Like, am I
Who
from
gives a
like one of
fuck?
the
You're from
more-
Rezo's district.
Well, that's like a
76.
bigger
Rezo's
question
No,
because
it's
some
not.
of like I know I feel like the people that in that movie that come from like the more like underprivileged ones seems to be like
269.
more
There's no
gritty,
districts.
So,
It's just
okay, well, there's no districts. in
Rezo.
that. Well, that seems
There's
like
a mega district. Yeah, it's Rezo district.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with Lego wins because I think that like he's taken the most like nature picture, so I think his like his ability to like
All
traverse what seems to be
Only
probably
because you
an
can't
outdoor
choose
environment.
yourself because you're nice.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Well, I mean, I just think he would be good in the outdoors, presuming that's where it would be, or like like an extensive knowledge of like the indigenous plants and animals that you could eat wouldn't be exactly based on what we have here, so it could be like some futuristic thing or some abstract thing
Nice.
that is based in the movies. So like obviously like I'd probably just eat the wrong plant, I guess, assuming that it would look similar to a plant that you can eat here, something like that. So I would go with Lego. Who would die first? I don't know. I mean, I would say Hofus. I just don't like him, but like Mana did say he would like jump off a cliff immediately, like early on in this
I would
podcast. Like he
accidentally fall off a
he
cliff.
would
Like
fall
I'd
off
be
a
like,
cliff like immediately.
I'd be like
so
in the middle,
it's
like
really
I can't
hard to go away from
I can't
that
text
now.
and drink while walking. Okay, so I'll be like
Plus-
looking down or like talking to someone while walking, and be like, oh, and like trip and fall.
So,
tumble
I just
down.
feel like
there's
we
no
all-
Wendy's, So
we all descend, and like during the rules, mana just
Wait.
goes off the cliff, and we're all like, all right, well, there's one. So
During the rules.
during like the rules. So I guess we'll go mana. What was the other one? Who would live? Who would win? Who would die first?
Who would
Was
you
it-
take
If you
with
could pick, who would
Oh,
you pick
pick-
in Rezos for a
Who
duo?
would I take with me? Well, in this scenario, could I pick Lego? That way I in fact
No,
win
because
as
he's already
well?
there.
Okay, who would I pick? Other Rezo person? I don't know. I would probably pick actually Super Professor because I would really be fascinated to hear like all of like the recanting of some of like his novels or like plays or like I don't know a ton about like Old English literature. or
So you'd
things like
rather hear all that
would
shit
be-
before you
really
die.
Good strategy for staying alive, Triton.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm already presuming that I'm not
Hey,
going
hey,
to stay alive,
Tinkkz,
then-
go ahead and talk. Go ahead and talk shit on his strategy. That's your
Yeah.
pick to win.
Obviously I'm stupid. Like I like to take right now.
So
I'd
I don't
like
know.
to
I
pick
mean, if
Super
Lego's
Professor
going to
so I can
win, then
listen to
Mana's going to die
Shakespeare.
right away, and I just need to outlast Hove to finish like second. I guess I'd rather hear about something that I don't know.
You die if you're second. Have you ever read The Hunger Games?
Or
Well, I did ask what district
you
I'm
both
from because
eat
I
the
thought it was a
berries.
very important question because I
it's
think
not.
in some of
No,
those
you fall in
Look,
love with the person in second, so you
threaten to
both live.
eat the berries.
Okay,
let's
in
not talk
that
about the berries, 'cause
scenario-
this is super emotional for anyone who's
eating the berries, like, or you just don't
Yeah.
eat the berries. I'm just saying
Too
that, like,
soon.
in that world of the Hunger Games, it seems like there's like a value add. Well, I mean, we are talking about taxes, but like a value add tax that would spread across all those districts. And the poorer districts tend to use like a greater portion of their disposable income. So I just feel like they'd be more like useful in that scenario. So it depends on what district I'm from. I would probably pick
Wow.
someone from another impoverished district that would probably be
We aren't
resourceful.
in the Hunger. We aren't in the Hunger Games.
That was the question.
No,
I'm just
the question
saying,
was
like,
Let
if it was a
him
Hunger
talk.
Games style
Let the
death
man
match.
speak. He's
so
speaking
that would
truth.
be my.
There's no
pick, someone-
tributes.
Okay, wait. There's one more question you didn't answer.
What melee weapon would
melee
you use?
weapon would you use?
Oh, what melee weapon I would use? I don't know. Probably like nunchucks, because that would at least be like pretty cool if you had nunchucks.
And confusing. People would be like, what the fuck are you doing right now?
Yeah, so like nunchucks. Plus, it would like play in. Well, I mean, not maybe so much with you guys, but like if you see like an Asian guy with nunchucks, you're immediately going to assume that he's going to have like
Super
some
good.
level of competency
Yeah,
with those. So like
super good.
you may not have to use them.
But like we
So.
all know you.
Oh, that's true. We
Oh,
know
this
that
is
you're
true.
not going to be
I think
any
you
good
just
with
screwed
nunchucks.
yourself.
Oh,
Because
wait,
it's
actually,
all
all
within
of these
Rezo.
national medals that sit behind here are actually
Oh,
in
we-
martial arts,
they
so I
could
would
be,
be able to
yeah.
use all of the
Ooh.
nunchucks.
In reality,
so.
it's actually a bow staff, but he didn't choose bow staff.
Choose the bow staff, so.
I think that Mano would win. I just feel like if I got him really mad, he would just go berserk and like be unstoppable. Like,
But why would you do that? You would die for that.
No, I know. I'm just telling you that I think that he would get like when you pull him to his breaking point,
I
and
don't
he would
see
just
that.
like you don't see that at all. I feel like I could see that happening to Mana, and he just like plowing over everyone.
No, I just see Mana like derping it off of a cliff.
Yeah, I agree. Like after that earlier
that
in
I brought
comment,
it up,
it's
that's
so
all you
hard
guys
to
can
get
see.
past, like falling off the cliff.
Well, my
immediately.
question was how long
Got a
is
bad
this-
spawn, guys.
How long
Gotta
is
gotta
this
reset.
gonna last? Because if it's like over a day and there's no Wendy's, Mana's out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hold up. Is it my turn? Are we still
Do
going
it,
like?
do it.
Lego did finish.
Okay, so Mana wins.
Mana
I'd
wins.
say maybe. I feel like this is tough. I feel like Triton would probably die first. Like trying to analyze the situation, he would fail to make a decision fast enough.
Do you know why else he would die first? Because
Why?
my first order of business would be to go right after Triton.
That too. Hove would betray him
Why would you
immediately.
win over Triton?
Wait, like I'm pretty sure that like Hove and I wouldn't be in alliance. Like I would never get an alliance with
Right,
Hove.
that's the
It's
point.
not like our food would be coming from a strip club buffet where I could rely on him to continuously feed me meals. Like it would not be the case at all. So
Okay, wait. What was the next question? If I could bring somebody with me, I'd bring my dog Mosley.
Well, your dog's not in
'cause-
Resolute, so he can't
Doesn't
come.
count.
Wait, it has
wasn't
to be
it-
a
wait, we have that
Resolute
Rezo
weapon?
Pets chat though. Like I mean, does that?
Nope, doesn't
I thought it was
I thought it
just
was-
anybody.
Has
Okay,
he-
doesn't
I thought it
has
was
he
just
been
a melee
interviewed?
weapon.
Yes or no?
I thought it was just a melee weapon.
It was just
Okay.
swinging a dog around.
Your dog is neither a
What is
person
happening?
nor
Okay,
Resolute.
you have to
so
bring a
he's
member of
disqualified.
Resolute.
Yeah.
I would bring Rally because it looks like one
Ooh.
punch from him would knock somebody out.
I didn't think of that
Nice.
because I try to not think about Rally ever, but he has big arms.
Yes, I think about it all the time. Every time I see a
You
picture
think
of him.
about his arms all the time.
Yes, I do. Whenever I look in the Rezo selfie Discord and I see a picture of Rally's arm, I'm like, wow, that would kill me in one hit.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah.
That would murder me right
Yeah.
here now.
Yeah, him or Watts, because I know Watts works out a lot.
Ooh,
so
Watts is a
one of
big
them.
dude too.
Yeah.
You got some
and
people that do
then-
jujitsu and shit though too.
Like Triton?
No,
No, I
just
don't
because
think
he's
jujitsu.
Asian.
Stop making me out to be racist, damn it.
melee weapon, I would just want like the either like the longest sword I could possibly get because I don't want to even get close to somebody if I'm having to fight like that. Or you can get one of those taser guns. It's not a taser gun. It's like a taser stick. It looks like a lightsaber. It's freaking
Well,
crazy.
I don't know if
looking.
lightsaber is was a possibility because I'll change my answer.
mean,
to
it's
lightsaber.
Yeah,
melee,
that would obviously be
but
better. But
you're already
realistically,
got
there's a taser like
You were supposed
lightsaber, and
to
I would
think
take
of
that.
before.
By the way,
So
there's
that's
only
my
one
answers.
right answer for melee weapon, and you're all wrong. And I'll tell you the right answer later.
What's the
Mana,
right
Go
answer?
ahead.
Is it scimitar?
Oh.
All right. I always pronounce those scimitars, by the way. Okay.
Oh,
Anyways,
scimitar? Okay.
It's definitely
I
not.
don't know.
Definitely
it's
scimitar.
spelled that way. I'm just saying. But anyways, what were the questions again? So choose whoever is going to win. What do
Who
you
would
think
win
you're
out of the
gonna
four
win?
of us?
Win,
Who would be
die
the first to
first,
die? Whatever
Bring-
Rezo
who'd you
member would you
bring?
take in melee?
Melee weapon.
Going back to how everyone thinks Trine will win because he analyzes everything. He's going to win.
No, he's not.
You know why? Because he's also going to be my teammate.
That's not
Well,
possible.
we tried that already.
Dual
and that didn't-
Asian squad.
That should
Hear
count
me out.
then.
You're going to analyze the situation. Are we like kind of like diving in like PUBG or something, like into an island?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what.
So he's going to analyze everything already as we're coming down, and when we get down there, he's going to brief me what's happening. Now, my main thing I'm all about is food. He's going to use me to be the forester.
Mhm.
I'm going to find some dank ass mushrooms to nom on, as he is going to analyze the situation that we're in.
Listen,
All
if
right?
you're sending man out to find you edible mushrooms, you're definitely going to die at your first
I'm
meal.
not saying that I won't be the first to die
They're
too.
poisoned.
But here's the thing: we're going to do some Chronicles of Riddick shit, where we're going to eat little bits of it and get immune over time. All right,
Yes.
How long do you think this thing's going to
Yes.
last?
as long as possible, because I ain't going to be in the front lines. Anyways, if we do have to creep up on someone, to kill him, I got a big ass Buster sword from Final Fantasy VII in my room that I'm going to bring with me.
Buster Sword. Oh, cloud up in
So
this
here's the thing:
shit.
he has his nunchucks for some reason, but hopefully to intimidate people. But we all know it's bullshit.
Just
So I'm
stand,
going to
like,
have to.
eye with people, like, what?
He's going to be just swinging it in the background. Everyone's going to be distracted, and here's going to be big ass, Buster sword, me chopping him half. All right. So that's how that's going to go down. And here's another thing. Since this question originated from, it was Monk. So he's kind of like the dungeon master here, right?
Yes.
He said, "What if there's a Wendy's and it's a safe zone, but it's only open twice a day for an hour stretch? Never the same 2 hours, announced randomly with like a 30-minute warning, and you can be killed the second you walk out the door." I'm going to take that approach. Okay? So if that's the scenario, I'm going to sniff out that Wendy's. All right? This is literally what I said on Twitter. We're going to burrow. Okay? We're going to burrow in,
With what?
and we're
With his hands.
with my Buster sword.
Oh.
That thing's probably fake metal. I can probably bend it into a shovel and bend it back.
He's got a plan.
Anyways, I'm going to burrow down, okay? With our two Asian minds put together, we can probably form some magic, okay? So I'm going to ward
Makes
away the
sense.
entrances to make it invisible, because I watch Lord of the Rings. I know how to do that stuff.
Yep.
And every time they
Seems
alert
legit.
us that we're going to come out of there, and we're just going to rob the Wendy's of everything and immediately dip, okay? So, like, I see Triton diving through the window, like, hitting the burgers, like, with his nunchucks, just flipping them out. I'm going to be catching them. All right, we're out. We're out. That's how we're going to survive, okay?
Okay.
War of attrition. No one else is going to have Wendy's because
War
we're
of
going to be
attrition,
already on it.
baby.
There we go.
The Lord of the
There we go.
Rings magic was my favorite part of the whole
But
thing,
who
I
would you
think.
take with you?
Oh, well, Triton.
No,
that he's-
not.
No, you
not
have to
in
take
here.
somebody else
So
in
you made an
Rezo.
alliance
Oh,
with Triton. That's fine, but who would you take?
Okay, so alliance.
Yes, yeah.
So he might actually murder me
Okay,
when I'm
Yeah,
not.
because
went
one of you
there,
two is gonna have to
went
murder
there,
the other
no
one.
else did. Let's go to.
All right, so
Anyone else
I'm
in
going to
Rezo?
bring. Let's see. Who will I? Hmm.
Who in Rezo is good at?
I'm gonna bring
construction?
Wilson?
Because
The Hanzo
he knows
guy?
some. He's kind of like a dwarf. He forges things. I
does
can
forge
see him.
things.
I can see him forge.
Forging skills. You need him as well.
Just get
No,
him. Just get him a
forging.
bow and arrow and some scatter
Forging
arrows. And you guys are
So
set.
he's gonna forge some sick ass like glass thing that we're gonna use also as a weapon.
God damn it, let's move on.
I don't know what he's gonna forge, but it's gonna be sick.
Where's
and
he
it's
gonna
gonna be
get this glass?
Out of the sand, obviously.
Have you ever played Minecraft? Duh.
I can't handle this.
Duh.
I'd
The
like
correct
to
answer
change-
was
You put
from
it
the,
in the
from the
oven.
Wendy's window.
We're going to okay. I'm going to climb the highest thing
Why don't you
with
just
my
take-
Buster Sword.
why don't you just
and
break the
lightning
windows
is going to
at
strike.
Wendy's?
I'm going to have a wire string down to
Okay,
conduct
now
electricity
you're just
from the
doing Hunger
lightning.
Games. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Why don't you just break the windows at Wendy's?
Yeah, there's a lot of glass.
We don't
there.
want to be rude.
You robbed the place already. I don't think they give a fuck about the windows.
Yeah,
Fighting
Maybe
for
they
your
do,
life. I don't want
robbing
to
them
be rude.
isn't rude, apparently.
What
Well,
were your
they're making it
picks?
for us.
What's that,
so-
Lego?
What were your picks? I
Well,
want
I
to
mean-
hear.
I mean,
I
they're
wanna
all,
hear the
they're all
weapon,
the correct
really.
answers.
Oh, shut
Obviously,
up.
I would win. There's no doubt about that.
He's been playing a lot of PUBG. I don't know.
Mana may be my only competition here, but I have a plan.
Your
Um,
only competition.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
I have nothing. You're gonna make me cry now.
Oh my god.
I love you.
Triton
Go ahead.
would very
I'm being
obviously be
very
first.
rude. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. That's what we all do. Triton would very obviously be first because, as I said before, I would just go right after him and murder him.
Oh, he'd be first to die.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
because it would be like, weed out the weak, get rid of the weak. So take out Triton first. Lego would be second because he's too nice to kill anybody. Let's all be honest here.
Oh, come on.
You wanted to
put
take
me-
you wanted to take your dog as your partner.
This is not
Because she's vicious. She
She
sounds
is
so
not
mean.
vicious. Her name is Mosley.
After the movie Alien, there's a scene. Never mind.
Point taken. Go ahead.
Mana may have, I worry a little bit about Mana, but now that he's told me his whole Wendy's plan, this becomes very easy. Because even if I can't find the Wendy's, I just hide until I can smell Wendy's and I go, there's no
Mana's
1 hour Wendy's window now, so I smell Mana and all his stolen burgers. And then I attack him while he's eating.
Well, you gotta find my warded off hidey hole, though. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll find your hidey hole.
Whoa.
that,
In this universe, I hope I die first because I don't want to witness any of that. So I'll happily die first in this scenario.
So for my
I'd like to
duo's
change my
partner,
answer from Triton.
I would absolutely take Rally. I didn't even think of that at first, but like
It's good, right?
I've met Rally and I've heard stories from him about him in the past destroying people. Rally is a badass.
Agreed.
I hope he's
He can
not in
also
chat
drive
so
a
he doesn't
vehicle.
know I complimented him in any
If
way,
you
shape,
need-
or form.
Riley's
If you
been in
need to
chat
get to
for
the
the
safe
last
zone
hour.
really fast too, he can get you there in any vehicle
I was
faster
about to
than
say,
anybody else.
that is
He
true.
might just construct the vehicle right there on the spot. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm also basing some of this on PUBG. I've gotten better, but Mana's probably still better than me. Lego can't loot or get anything to save his life, and Triton doesn't even know how to play. So clearly, I'm the winner. As far as the melee weapon, I'm really disappointed in all of you because there's one clear choice here, and it is a bag of dicks. That's
I
my
didn't think
melee
of
weapon.
that.
A big bag of dicks.
Everyone's scared of that.
Yeah.
it's probably going to
I'm
be a heavy
sorry,
one this
Tinkkz.
time around too.
I'll leave all the bag of dicks for you since you're not scared of it.
I was not being sarcastic for the first time in my entire life, and you're going to be a dick about it.
Oh. It's a defense mechanism.
You have him on the edge, Tinkkz. He doesn't know what to expect
I'm
right
like a
now.
cornered animal.
Last year, during REZO Secret Santa time, I got a package that I didn't know what it was. So I started recording because that's what we do, right? We get our Secret Santa package, and so we set up the camera and we start recording. I'm like, oh, I got my Secret Santa package. What could it be? I start opening up. It's a bag of gummy dicks, and it's not from anyone in REZO.
Really?
Like, well, this is awkward, and I stopped recording. It's so bad.
But did you upload the video anyway?
No. I sent it to my friend who gave me the gummy dicks. I was like, you're lucky there's a video of this.
Is it on the internet?
No.
And can we find it?
I did take pictures of it, though.
The one of Kale's GIF was pretty great, though.
Oh,
was it the picture of him? Yeah.
Yes, and it's amazing. It's so great. That one's.
Is it just him, or is it him and like Gidget, his dog, in there too?
It's
when
both.
like in the sweater. Oh, nice.
Yes.
I think I remember seeing that be posted in chat.
It's amazing. We might post that on REZOcast feed as well because it's incredible. Hope, did you have any more questions? I'm sure you do.
I can't even. Oh, there was kind of an add-on to that. Is if you could sacrifice someone. Oh my god.
I love it.
If you could sacrifice someone to stay alive, who would it be? And Tinkkz immediately sacrificed Pope Bear.
Oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
And then later on, like 20 replies later, he was like,
Yeah.
"Why am I
Hours
included on
later.
this?" And Tinkkz was like, "Point proven."
it's so good.
Yeah, no, I think that's about it. I wanted to end with that one. Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it.
Okay. That was pretty good.
So basically, I'm still alive, and you're all dead.
Okay.
Whatever you
I'm still
say.
hiding.
I killed you all with a bag of dick.
I'm still eating.
Yeah.
Bandit's just chilling and eating Wendy's.
Can we do an
You'll find me
actual
eventually.
D&D of this with these people at some point? Because that would be really fun.
That would be kind of
Dicks
fun.
and dongs?
Totally down.
No!
Oh.
No, Dongcast.
Dongcast 76.
76.
I'm going to be famous, guys.
Okay, outside of the Twitter questions, there were just a few more things Bungie related. We had the TWAB today, and it's not much, but I just wanted to mention like 3 things. One was the raid race for tomorrow. Even though initially we thought we weren't going to have one, they said they are doing one for Eater of Worlds Raid Lair tomorrow, Friday, December 8th at 10 a.m. Pacific. So watch out for that. Raid looks awesome. We can't really talk about it because we don't know anything about it, really. And we've speculated about it before, so we'll talk about it next week. It's going to be awesome.
Also, when you say tomorrow, since this probably won't be out till tomorrow, Friday
yes.
the 8th.
Today, technically, if you're listening to this tomorrow. But then something I didn't expect in the this week at Bungie, which is awesome, is the faction rally is coming back Tuesday, December 12th. So that's next week, next reset, basically.
Nice.
And included in that, they showed some pictures of like the new guns and stuff. There's some new guns, but also all the ornaments that they added, and they showed a ship in the picture. And they showed a ghost in the picture, which right now we don't have all the extra stuff that we used to have, in OG Destiny. And so I'm guessing there's probably ships and ghosts for all the different factions, but I want that Dead Orbit one. It looks awesome. I really want it. And
sorry.
It looked like there were new shaders too. From the screenshots, like all the guns looked a little bit different than last time, and I think we were told we're going to get new shaders and they're going to switch out every season, but I'm not 100% confident on that. But it looks like there's new shaders.
Well, there'll be.
I caught Hope
the wide's
mid-yawn.
catching up. There's going to be ornaments too, right? For those sets of armor?
Yes. And you can preview all that now in your character. So if you have like armor from a certain faction, if you go in, you can preview the ornament. And some of it, I don't know, for Dead Orbit stuff, I was looking at it and it didn't change it very significantly. The new Monarchy stuff looked a little bit more intense, but really the stuff that looks drastically different is like the Trials gear is the main. Like I was looking at the Trials gear and it like completely changes the shape of the armor. So it's pretty cool.
Neat.
Last thing was some weapon tuning notes. John Wisniewski had a little spot in the Bungie in the TWAB, and he said basically like that what?
I don't know.
He said basically that the weapons update that they did to everything, that it's, you know, it was very subtle changes. They didn't want to drastically change the sandbox, and I thought that was pretty interesting because that's what drove people that I knew who played Destiny 1 like away from the game, is they got their favorite weapon and then it drastically changed in the first patch, and then it like wasn't, you know, they were like, well, the gun that I learned to use is gone, and so they just left. And so I don't know, like I know some people are going to be upset about that, but I know other people, this might keep them around, so I'm not sure. Did y'all have any thoughts on the patch being like very subtle for the Crucible with Curse of Osiris?
Kill me.
No. Mana's been
peeing for an hour. We're all distracted right now.
I can't even.
Tinkkz is dying right now too.
Why do you have mana on this show?
Was he peeing in a bottle this whole time?
The whole time.
An hour straight.
No, just this here.
That's what alligators do, apparently. Alligators.
No, I mean, I think it's a good thing. I mean, we talked a lot about them just making huge changes in Destiny 1 and saying, why don't they do smaller adjustments? The only thing I would say is if they're going to do smaller adjustments, they do need to be more frequent.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And that goes along with, I don't know, I can see the reason why like they're not fixing like Prometheus lens before next week when they already have this next big patch plan to go out, and it's like, how do you change that, your schedule basically, to fix it? But with how we didn't get a small weapon patch until now, like basically season 2, that is kind of tough, I think.
We have to remember that different people work on different things too. So just because they're putting out something else without fixing something else doesn't mean that they're wasting time on something. There's not just a button one person can press and now he's busy doing something else because of it.
No, it's not a button, it's a knob. Come on.
You're a knob.
All right, Lucas.
I do think that, you know, like,
that's a good one. Bravo.
If it is like such small increments, I would like to see it more frequently, but I guess we'll see. I think that was it for me. You know, Prometheus lens isn't being fixed right away, so trials will be interesting this weekend. Oh, yeah, I know, that's how I feel. Which reminds me, I wanted to ask y'all, are y'all... I feel like I've got enough legendary shards. If I can continually purchase those faded engrams that he's supposed to have from Xur, I'm not sure if that's this weekend.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But if it is, then that's what I'm using all my shards on, just to get that so I can use it in trials this weekend.
I hope you use all your shards.
On the forums.
I
know a lot of people on the forums have been speculating that they might
sell Prometheus lens.
But no, they hope that they're speculating that trials might be canceled just because of how powerful it is.
That seems. I mean, everything that's canceled trials before has been like
game breaking, like Prometheus lens.
No,
but like with the walking through the walls, right? With that emote, I mean that's way. I mean, to Tomo's point, that's like way different.
Oh wait, is there a new emote?
Yes.
That's being glitched or something?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought I read someone that somewhere on Twitter that there's another emote that can be glitched out or something. That's
I haven't heard about it. If so,
Breaker says they already stated that it hasn't been. So cancel it.
Yeah, and Wilson's saying you can only buy one of those faded engrams a week from Xur, so you can't.
Oh, really?
Them, yeah.
Okay.
Good. No Prometheus lens for Lego.
I think they should just have Xur sell it. Then everyone's on the same place.
That's what Reddit is saying, or I saw somebody say on Twitter. They're like, "Just let us all have it. Let's all experience."
That was
it.
me.
That was
with the evil gif.
That guy.
Unforgettable, apparently.
Sorry, Mana.
He's the worst. Not Mana. There you go.
Oh, I
was like, wow.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna get canceled just because they already said in the Bungie blog we're not canceling it. They know about it and it's not canceled yet. So.
Oh, did they actually come out with a patch for it? Did they fix?
No, they said the patch is coming with the new patch on Tuesday with Reset, where we get Masterworks and all that. They're just gonna include it in that.
Okay.
Is pretty much what they've said. So.
Because I was all smug about me abusing and just destroying people with the Prometheus lens, and people were like, "Oh, it's going to be nerfed, soon." And I'm just like, well, until then,
yeah, I know. It's funny. John Wisniewski, even in the Bungie update, he's like, "Well, try to be nice to people. I know it's really good, but don't ruin everyone's day." And I'm like, How could you not, though? How could you not want to go and use the broken
Well, then he
gun?
said something like, I know that's not going to happen, but I have to say it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Which is just so funny. But
it's funny because I only played a couple hours of Crucible after I got it, and I started the game using it, and I would slay a whole bunch of people really quickly, and then other people on the opposite team switched to it to combat me. I'm like, oh, he's angry. He wants in on this.
that's awesome.
It was actually really funny.
I wonder if people are going to do that. They're like going to try to play with normal weapons, and then if somebody else pulls out the lens, they'll pull out the lens too, kind of thing. If we'll see a lot of that.
I'm getting back into triple carries starting
yeah.
tomorrow. Only using the lens. No.
All right.
I mean, I could try though.
I think that's about it for this week's REZOcast, episode 63. Unless you guys got anything else to add.
You don't want me to.
Okay, yeah, I don't. You're right. Well, this is
leave?
Lego, aka
I think she might want
Lego
to pee.
Flash.
She did say she would pee for
And
an
yeah,
hour.
she'll be right back. And you can find me at Lego LE Flash on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Hove, where can they find you?
All those same places. Twitter, Twitch. Hove76, HOV76. I'm not going to say YouTube. That's it.
And Triton.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote.
Above that. Yeah, you also find me primarily on Twitter, sometimes Twitch, seldom on YouTube. All under Triton, please. All one word, please being PLZ. And how about you, Mana?
You can find me mainly on Twitch, sometimes YouTube, maybe in the near future, planning kind of sometimes at the Manigator. And is the Tinkkz? How about you, Tinkkz? Oh, you can
bye,
find me
Tinkkz.
on,
Bye.
Hello,
See ya.
Tinkkz.
on Twitter, Twitch at Tinkkz with the 2 Ks.
You guys were doing very good impressions. Sorry,
That was just
I
Mana.
had a couple kids that needed to be tucked in, and they're more important than you. So
Oh, we understand.
Did you pee
I
though?
am.
Yeah, we thought
I
you peed.
didn't. No,
I am currently-
I
is that
still
what
need to. No, this is a real problem right now. I am Tinkkz, Tinkkz. You don't want to follow me on anything. I talk about stupid crap all the time.
You
She's
definitely
right.
do
Don't follow
on
her
Twitter. Go
on
find her.
anything.
Go find her.
Yeah, I have.
Well-
I have a Twitch and I have a YouTube, but those things are neglected. I hang out on Twitter though.
Well, you can find REZOcast at REZOcast on Twitter. We'd love to talk to you. Thanks for listening. If you're listening on iTunes, we really appreciate it. Hanging out and stream, we really appreciate y'all too.
Leave reviews.
And you know, if you're feeling,
leave reviews
Yes.
for the podcast because that's what puts you up on the charts and that's what makes that algorithm work for you. So leave reviews for the podcast. If you've been listening and you want to support the podcast in some sort of way, leave a review. And if you want to know how to leave a review, because it's very confusing on iTunes, you have to search the podcast like you don't know it exists. So search for REZOcast, then click on REZOcast, then click on the reviews, then click on write a review. Sorry, go ahead.
yes. Thank
Also,
you. That
in your
thank you.
review, state who would win in a Hunger Games style death match between the four of us.
Yes!
Yes.
In your review.
And who would lose? And who from Resolute you'd like to take with you as your
Yes.
Obviously, there's
Competing.
only one correct answer,
And it's me.
and Tinkkz isn't even in it.
Y'all can also find more about Team Resolute at Team Resolute on Twitter and teamresolute.com. So come check us out. And thanks for coming on, Tinkkz. We're really glad you could hang out with us
Thanks
tonight.
for letting me drink a bunch of wine and act like a fool, because that's what I do
You gave me a
best.
reason. That's why I was like, listen, I need to drink a bottle of wine during this podcast.
That's what I do.
I can get away with it if Tinkkz is there.
And you...
Did we let you, or did we just accept the fact you're going to do it anyways?
No, because the last time I was on, I drank less. So this time, I felt like you guys were more accepting of my behavior.
So
Oh,
do
no,
you
we're
feel
still
like
not
next
accepting.
time, like third time, you're gonna go like
It's gonna be
all
a
out?
bottle
You're
of
gonna have like
vodka.
a keg
This
behind
is
you.
all
It's
I
going to be a
got.
bottle of
No.
vodka, straight vodka.
Straight liquor.
Okay,
She's
that
going to
will
be.
be...
Hold on, let me bong this bottle of vodka real quick.
That will be New Year's Eve.
That's the opening.
We should all play Cards Against Humanity New Year's Eve.
Oh my
'Cause
god.
That's what I do on New Year's.
Yo.
When
We've
we
done
were-
that together
yes.
once.
Me, Mana,
totally down for Cards Against
Lego,
Humanity.
Wenny, Neb, and Expat in a house in Florida playing Cards Against Humanity drunk like 3 nights in a row.
With
at 4 a.m.
alcohol and Australian, or not Australian,
Australia.
New
what?
Zealand.
New
No,
Zealand
New
candies.
Zealand
Candy
candy.
and
Chocolates
champagne.
and
Kiwi candies.
I accidentally said Australian. I
They're
hope he's
all
not-
pissed. The entire
Yeah,
country
the entire-
of New Zealand is pissed.
I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed
Not
it.
soon enough.
Well,
Alright.
this has been REZOcast, episode 63. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Until next time, guys. GG.
GG's.
Also, though, my favorite is when Tinkkz told Monk she plays more than him, and Monk has like 7 times more hours, and he posted it.
That was so good. Hi, this is Tinkkz, and you're listening to my podcast,
Oh,
REZOcast.
God. You're in timeout. I need some more wine. We have faces for radio. Well, that makes sense. Triton's on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Whoa,
true.
Well, don't put it all on Triton. Your mug isn't that great either.
Oh, Tinkkz, I love
Yeah,
having
keep
Tinkkz
that
on the
camera
show.
on,
This is fantastic.
Actually, she pretty much kidnapped me. I was a grown-ass adult, too, and she kidnapped me.
You were a grown-ass adult. You're not anymore.
What?
Yeah, I'm digressing.
Which is now when Lego or when Triton talks over everything.
What? No one talks during this time except for me. I'm the only one who like actually moves along any type of conversation. It's really awkward.
I'm the only one that actually moves along any conversation.
Yes.
Okay, I don't like Tinkkz as much right in this moment, but like before this moment, it was fantastic. But during these 44 seconds or whatever we have left, it's
Whose side is she
not been
on?
as great.
I hate you, Ho.
GG.
Re-rees.
hate
Down. I lost it.
GG, no
I had
re-re.
something earlier. I literally had like
No
something
re-re.
like 15 minutes ago, but then it kept
If you're-
on going. I
if
lost
you're
it.